Got time for a quickie, Tom?
You, me, and everyone else.
Sorry to your lovely lady at home. Sorry, I had to try it. This is a stories episode where we read your stories or stories that we found in the news, and you listen and you like it.
That's right. Episodes formerly known as minisodes, and now rebranded.
Can't believe
as
we didn't
Quickies.
think of Quickies
Yes,
earlier.
that's on us, everybody. You're probably screaming down your devices at us. We're not going to tuck you in for these stories either. It's a self-tuck job, if you don't mind.
No.
No
We need to stop talking, both of us. All right, I'll kick off. I found this story. Channel 7 News in Australia reported this story, and I wanted to see what you thought about it. Well, we don't really need, tell me what you thought, but we're not answering any questions. We don't give advice on this one.
We're off the clock.
So there's a legislator in the Philippines has filed a bill to declare the act of ghosting or ending communication without explanation a form of emotional abuse.
Well then.
Yes. So it basically says that ghosting caused trauma as it develops feelings of rejection and neglect, and that studies have shown that social rejections of any kind activates the same pathways in the brain as physical pain, meaning that there's a biological link between rejection and pain, and that goes for friends and partners alike. It can be likened to a form of emotional cruelty and should be punished as an emotional offence. Yeah, in an interview with CNN Philippines, The Final Word on Wednesday, this person also explained that the emotional abuse caused by ghosting was detrimental to the nation's productivity. See, that's where you get a bill passed. People give no fucks about your emotional trauma. Governments don't care, but if it's affecting capitalism, then we've got to pass laws against it, everybody. It said, if you're a worker that is not in a good state of mind, your work will be affected because you've been ghosted. They're just basically suggesting like a penalty of community service, like not anything particularly. I don't think it's legislatable at all.
No,
I really
I'm wondering
don't.
how you're to be found guilty of ghosting. What are the criteria for ghosting?
I mean, what if you say I lost their phone number? Like, there's so many different ways that you get away with that. But I do think it's important that we recognise as a society that ghosting is shit and just don't do it. You owe somebody some kind of, hey, this just isn't working out for me, thanks. Like, don't be that dick that just leaves someone on red.
Yeah, but it comes under the umbrella of just be better, people, right?
Don't be a dick.
Just be better. Well then, over to me. The night before Valentine's Day, a few years ago, I drove my pickup truck through the snow to see my boyfriend of 2 years for the weekend. When I get there, we started arguing, and he said he wanted to break up.
Oh.
I knew there was someone else in the picture and got really pissed off. Packed up all my things and stormed out.
Yep.
It's a storm out.
Good.
My truck was frozen solid and wouldn't start.
Oh, no. No.
It was past midnight and I got a text that said, are you okay? I told him my truck wouldn't start. It was snowing and I ended up having to stay the night.
Oh, no.
He lived at his parents' house at the time, and we had to pretend everything was fine the next morning. He also refused to sleep on the couch, so I made a pillow wall in between us on his bed.
It's petty and I love it.
The next day, he picked up roses in the morning, because after all, it was Valentine's Day, wrote me a beautiful card about how he didn't want it to end like this. And his mother made me pancakes and talked about how she couldn't wait for me to really be part of the family.
Oh.
I had to hold it together all morning, pretending we were still so happy. And he had to drive me home about 40 minutes because my truck still wouldn't start. Oh. My father and I then had to drive back to his parents' house to try to bring the truck to life. Oh. We never had our parents met because the timing had never worked out. So my dad met both of his parents for the first time that day. My ex's parents couldn't stop talking about how great we were together and how happy they were to have me
to break the news.
over all of the time.
Now. I feel uncomfortable.
They didn't know that we had broken up yet, but my dad did. That man held it together as well as I did.
Well done, Dad.
Would you? Okay, I understand not telling them. I do understand.
On the morning of, I get it. But when you come back and introduce your parents...
If the same day, I think they might have gone back.
And what a coward of a guy to not have told them after she left. Like...
yeah, it's so soon after getting there, after a 2-hour schlep. Oh, it's a nightmare. How are you looking over there, Elizabeth?
I came across a video.
A video.
I came across a video on the TikTok.
Fantastic.
With the young people use, where somebody asked, "Can you be stood up at their house?" Like, he's gone in and it's been 45 minutes of silence and I don't know what to do. So she's sitting on her date's couch before the video zoomed in on the door that her date presumably went through and never returned. And she wrote in the caption, "I'll wait for 30 more minutes and then I'll leave. I do not know where he went."
In the house or out?
She's in the house.
Yeah, did he?
He went to another room in the house.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's hiding away somewhere, I assume.
Yeah. So the comments on the video were such as, maybe he's wearing leather pants and it got hot, a la Friends reference.
Sure.
Someone said the boy's called and he's playing video games.
Yep.
Someone else said he's on the phone with his girlfriend. And then we had someone going, he's waiting for you to follow him. It turned out that commenter was indeed right. He was doing a play of go to the bedroom
right
and see if she'll follow. So there was another video that she followed up and she said she went into the date's room about 10 minutes later. So this is it's 55 minutes of her sitting outside and she found him naked on his bed, seemingly hoping to roll around in the sheets before going out. When asked whether or not the date's trick worked, she said yes, but no, but yeah, kind of.
That sounds like someone regretting saying yes.
I feel like it worked and she hates herself for it.
How long would have the chap stayed hidden away? Like 4 hours have gone on and she hasn't. Like, how long did you sit in that room?
But how long do you wait outside?
Yes,
it's like
I agree.
this sexual standoff. Like, what? It's very confusing.
Bizarre behavior. You think you come across and you're familiar with all types of human interactions and human behavior, and then someone goes and just so I'm struggling to come with.
I mean, I suppose it's one step better than we've talked about before, the How I Met Your Mother naked guy trick, and the fact that he's not just being naked in the lounge room, like he's going into another room to be naked and it's your choice whether to walk in. But I guess because you don't tell them that you're going to be naked in the other room, it's still removing consent.
It's the seeming, because there's a video, I assume, of her filming in his house going,
she's
what
sitting on the couch
going,
what do I do? Do I go in there? And then swap from her face to the door being like, what do I do? What do I do?
Because on the surface, it's a fun little game. I'm come and find me. But when you're in someone's house for the first time, you're hardly going to wander off opening doors and looking.
I would have been
exploring.
like, after 5-10 minutes, going, "Are you okay?
Yeah, I would have been calling him.
Where
are you?
Are you? If you don't respond to me, I'm going to go. Okay, bye."
So probably good idea, poorly executed.
But quite hilarious that they both stayed silent on either side of that door.
Both of them listening. Are they doing anything? Wow.
All right.
Great.
You got one to bring us home?
Yeah, let's go. Which one? Here we go. A little bit of, because it's important as well. I had been with my ex for 2 years when I decided it was time to have a lump checked out. Ooh. Remember to check your breasts.
Yes,
That's
always.
the reader and myself enforcing that message. It's important. A week later, I was booked in for surgery, and I got a message saying he couldn't drop me off, but would pick me up. He didn't show up, and I had to have my hysterical mother drive me around. 2 weeks passed before he got in touch to say, I decided I don't want to be with you. In capital... Yeah, go, Liz. In capitals, I was having an unknown lump removed. And he couldn't even wish me luck or tell me that he loved me.
This is like breaking up.
Yeah, let it all out, and it's guttural noises are
break up with them
encouraged.
before this, or like just get your fucking adult pants on. I was about to say man pants, but this works too if you're
pants,
being, any gender and being a dick about
Absolutely.
it. Put your adult pants on and break up with someone before they're about to go through a potentially life-altering procedure.
And it's not even getting like there was no cancer diagnosis in that. It's just there was a lump, and lumps can be totally innocent. So this guy got to lump and went, no, I can't deal with this. So well and truly a dump them. Thank you very much. Dear
Gross. Gross. All right. Well, that brings us home for a quickie on your stories that we've found all over the place.
It always happens with these quickies. I get hot and flustered. I don't know where I am. I need liquid.
It's every good quickie. If you've got a story that you'd like to write in, write to ghostsofboyfriendspast@gmail.com or our social medias. I will tell you that almost every single person who's written in and I've replied has said that the reply went to junk. We're still working on it with Google, but if you have written to us and we haven't replied, please check your junk mail because this is getting ridiculous
it's not
now.
Us. It's not us.
I've raised a ticket with Google as to why we're being flagged as spam because we're not spamming anybody. So I don't know whether some jealous ex has kind of signed us up to a whole bunch of terrible things and I don't know what's happening, but we're going to get to the bottom of it. But just check your junk around about the time that you wrote in because I guarantee I will have
check your
replied
junk
to you.
for lumps.
Yeah, check your junk and check your boobs.
That's my advice.
Until then, rate, review, subscribe. We love you. We love your stories and keep them coming in.